Neighbors and friends, I'm glad to welcome you all today to our webinar that is hosted by Fiber Connect Council MENA. Our welcome extends to our members and their partners, and we hope all of you benefit from today's webinar. I would like to thank our council members, Oman Broadband, for taking part in this webinar, and the 3GIS as well for organizing and presenting today's webinar with an expert speakers talking about a digital transformation journey harnessing 3GIS for advanced telecom network management. Our speakers today is Mr. Ahmed Al-Makbali, Geographic Information Systems Engineer from Oman Broadband, and Mr. Andrew Wright, Director of Product Management from 3GIS. Ahmed is a GIS engineer at Oman Broadband and has been with the company for over 6 years. His key contributions include masterminding the data integration for FTTX and backhaul projects and the steering quality assurance of GIS data. He holds a bachelor degree from the University of Technology and Applied Sciences in Telecommunications and Engineering. Welcome, Ahmed.
Thank you.
And for Mr. Andrew, he has worked in the GIS industry for over 15 years in both the public and the private sectors. He has been with 3GIS since 2015 and currently serves as the Director of Product Management. During his time at 3GIS, Andrew has worked within the support and implementation teams in North America and in EMEA, helping global enterprises elevate their fiber management strategies. Welcome, Andrew and Ahmed, to today's webinars, and I would like also to welcome all the attendees in our webinar today. For our attendees, please note that Mr. Andrew and Mr. Ahmed will answer all your questions. Once they finish the presentation, please feel free to type your questions in the chat area, and we will take notes and answer them at the end of the presentation. Mr. Ahmed, I know that you will start with today's webinar, so I'm happy to welcome you, and please have the full floor.
Hello, everybody. Assalamu alaikum. Here, Ahmed, and good afternoon, and good evening, and good morning. It depends on your time zone. So it's a pleasure to. I will turn the camera off that for the quality of the connection. It will be better without video. Yeah. It's a pleasure to be here today and discuss the digital transformation journey of Oman Broadband and how we have partnered with the 3GIS to advance the telecom network management. So today we'll dive through this agenda for driven of modernization and the challenge that we faced to change the system and the importance of the GIS in our operations and why we have partnered with the 3GIS. Then we'll show up the implementation and the result we got from this modernization. So before we dive in the technical details, let me give you a brief of the Oman Broadband. First, where we are located. So for those people around the world. We are from the Sultanate of Oman, located in one of the Gulf countries, the east side of the Gulf countries. The capital is Muscat, and the spoken language here is Arabic. And we are 5 million people living here. Let's provide you with the Oman Broadband company, how it's started. Oman Broadband is a joint stock government company founded in 2014, and it's part of IDCA Group. IDCA Group is a multiple company. One of them is Oman Broadband. Following the reflection of the National Broadband Strategy in late 2013, there was an idea of empowering communities and business across Oman to provide high-speed internet through cut-edge the fiber broadband technology for all the Sultanate. And this aligned with the Sultanate Digital Oman strategy and vision of 2040, aiming to make supporting the economic growth as well as the knowledge economy. All right. Uh, Here, the concept that Oman Broadband based on, it's the National Broadband Strategy (NBS) that under the TRA, that Oman Broadband will build the infrastructure in Sultanate of Oman and allowing the service provider to use the infrastructure. So we have a centralized infrastructure for all ISPs. This will allow the ISPs to be more uh, competitive with offers and not care about the operation uh, the behind uh, the operation side. Since we are operating uh, from 2015, we have made significant progress. As today, Oman Broadband now connecting 840,000 home pass and reaching 285,000 active user or subscriber, and we connect 500,000 unit. Also, there is an significant increase of company mobile asset over 276 million. Our goal in Oman Broadband is to provide the internet up to 95 of urban premises by 2030, helping to unlock Oman's potential as increasing connection nation. Uh, this will uh, drive us through enhancing communication services and increase the coverage of the broadband across Oman. So let's focus the subject of transformation. As we rapidly expanded, we faced some challenges. The technology we are relied on for network management was outdated. As you know that network engineer, they publish an announcement. They will they are near to end the maintenance and support. Therefore, we recognize the urgency of modernize our processes to meet increasing demand. To address this, we partner with the 3GIS and becoming the first solution provider in the region to implement their modern GIS-based telecom network management solution. I will show you some high level of challenges that we had in the previous solution. We were limited in the previous system. Whereas here's some features that we had limitation. We'll talk about the data loader. Data loader takes days. So when we receive a new project that we need to upload it in the system, that takes a lot of time. we have to work manually in some processes, then the system it takes time to process that information and post it to the database. Workflow automation. There is manual processes, slow task to be completed, whether in the last mile, especially in the last mile connection. The mobile capability. There is a limitation in the mobile-based, the mobile the mobile solution. So there is no real-time data supported in the field. Talking about the task manager, there is more there is a more manual inventory needed for assigning the work orders and managing all that processes. The schematic, we based on there was a schematic in the network engineer, but not efficient as we had it today. Most of the team is relying on the AutoCAD, the AutoCAD drawing, the schematic drawing, and that's slow the updates. When there is an update happened, that slow us and we are misaligned with the updated data. And work order management, there is manual work order processes, and that's slow the transition from stage to stage. Lastly, the reporting engine. Ericsson Network Engineer was capable for doing the reporting, but there is a limitation of the time needed to implement to develop a reporting tools. However, the time taken, for example, here the FDH, fiber distribution hub, and the NAB network access point take approximately 5 hours to generate the equipment utilization report, and that significant amount of time that just waiting the result to be pop up. All right. So I will walk through how we addressed what's the importance of the GIS in the fiber network operations. We'll address 3 main processes that we have in operation. First of all is the mobile solution, and then data loader and the last mile application. This is the main important GIS operation that we have right now. The mobile solution, we have reviewed the real-time data. We need real-time data that rely on to cross the each and every stage of connecting customer or asset location. And the data loader loading the FTTX project, fiber FTTH project, that bulk amount of the features that must be loaded to the to the inventory. And the last mile connection is connecting the customer in the field and having the update in the database. As we know that GIS is not a standalone system. It must be operated with the other systems in the company, because it must be centralized data cross to each department in the company. we have the PSS or CRM or OS, depends on the company they use. There's an integration to to manage all the data of the customer and the order stages from start to end, and that enhancing the workflow. The workflow during the life of each order. Uh, yes, there is a lot of details here regarding to the integration between both systems. Whether we have now GIS with the PSS, these a huge amount of data must be reflected in both sides, for the BSS side and the GIS side, and must be aligned, because each information is very important and cost the company a lot. When you missed one connection and you are not aware about it, then that will cause a lot of trouble, that wasting time and wasting and wasting money, that you, you missed it. uh, Therefore, we have searched the market to to uh, to to cut the edge, and finding a better solution for Oman Broadband company that allow to defeat all these challenges, and having a great system in the market. So we take ahead of time before the end of the uh, before the network before the Ericsson Network Engineer is expired. So we take a step ahead and searching for in the market about a solution in the telecom. So we proposed a lot of we received a lot of proposals uh, uh, around the world, that we receive almost 20 proposals, and we pick one that satisfy our requirement, and the the modernization of what we need. So we have select the 3GIS based on three main category, that we evaluate all the vendors apply for this solution. First of all, that the vendor who applies must be a partner with 3GIS at least golden level. So 3GIS is the only plat at that time. Also, the suitable experience they have in telecom, because not every GIS solution provider is aware about the telecom sector. Telecom sector is more complex when it's come to the operation itself. It's more complex than the watering or the surgery. Uh, when it's come to the level of the details that we have. The third one is we need most compatible and user-friendly solution that didn't require uh, a huge more hardware to invest on. So 3GIS is the one that fit the requirement and also more.
Ahmed, that's great. I'm just kind of wondering for the audience
Yeah.
that's listening, were there any other reasons in the evaluation process outside of these main three that led you to select 3GIS?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. The 3GIS, the they use the 3GIS, the Esri GIS platform that's reducing the transition cost when it comes when in integration. So 3GIS integrate seamless with our existing GIS platform. So moving from the system to another system, there was no wasting of time. Uh, it was seamless and everything was smooth. This is one of the reasons that we pick 3GIS. Also, another point that is they show us the real-time mobile access from the field operation, and that was surprising us that because there's no solution at that time reading real-time from the mobile. Also, the last point that is user-friendly interface because it's web-based. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. I didn't realize until we were working on this presentation together that you all received so many proposals, 20. That's incredible. I'm just
Yeah.
wondering, was there anything in our proposal that stood out to you all when you received it compared to maybe some of the others?
Yeah, as I said, that 3GIS is providing us all-in-one solution with the full mobile integration, enabling that the network update from the field. Unlike other, they didn't. It didn't require, unlike other, yani. So it didn't require uh, expenses, extensive customization, and offering reliable support, which was critical for our transformation. So this is the good point that we have a full package, as we said.
Awesome. Okay, good to know. I appreciate that.
Yeah, here I will show you an example that takes seamless integration. That this is a mockup. There's no real data here, just a mockup. This is built in the 3G in the Esri GIS platform before before uh, moving to the 3GIS system. So this is built at that time, and we still use it because it's very important for us to track the projects and the performance of each service provider. So this allows us to continue using it as it is up to as today. Um, all the processes has happened in the back end. The only thing that we have changed only the database connection. I believe this the only changes. There is nothing more. Um, this is the introduction and the main processes that we have here. Now we'll move to Andrew to dive in more technical or more details.
Great. Thanks so much, Ahmed. So Ahmed's talked a little bit about the move to 3GIS, and I thought I'd maybe take a few moments and just kind of walk through kind of what 3GIS is, what's kind of some of our core tenets and what it allows you to do and what we see in the market. And then I'll pass the microphone back to Ahmed and let him talk about the implementation and kind of what their experience has been and what they've been able to do with the product since going live earlier this year. So 3GIS is a company. We're a telecom-focused software company. We work in the global market. We have customers on 6 of the 7 continents. I'm still waiting to go to Antarctica, but I don't know that's going to happen anytime soon, but I hold out hope. And as you heard Ahmed talk about, we're based on top of the Esri ecosystem. So it still allows you to use that robust GIS tool that's needed for reporting and other tasks as well. We really focus as an organization on providing a core software that is configurable with a configurable user interface versus delivering custom code to each of our customers, which makes it difficult, or I shouldn't say difficult, I should say makes it expensive, because that's what it does, makes it expensive for each of our customers to maintain that custom code every time they want to upgrade the software, right? We're also very open database architecture and have a lot of APIs and different ways for our customers to get at the data, because we understand that all of our customers have different needs and different systems that they're trying to integrate with, from other off-the-shelf solutions to homegrown in-house built solutions. And you heard Ahmed talk about one of the values that they saw was that it was a thin client. They didn't have to go install desktop software on all their users, so it was easier to deploy. So what does 3GIS do as a software? We have 2 real software products, 3GIS Web and 3GIS Mobile. And we really focus on taking the network and putting it in the hands of the users, whether they be out in the field or in an office planning or designing or managing or troubleshooting a network outage. We don't detract from the ability to use the other tools in the Esri ecosystem. We sit there with it, alongside of it, to support collaboration and improve decision making across the entire ecosystem. And as you can see here, if you look at the kind of cloud in the middle and think of that as 3GIS and Esri, we're able to interact and serve with all the clients up at the top, whether those be internal users, external contractors of other GIS systems, the 3GIS products, other things in the field, IT developers working through RESTful APIs. And then at the bottom, we're able to pull in different data from different sources, such as real-time sensors, your land-based data, and important, obviously, the network data as well. Now, we've hit on a few of these already. Ahmed, I appreciate you hitting on a few for me without even being aware of it. But we have kind of 6 key tenets of our products that we kind of try to operate by. And one of them is ready, set, usability. It's a product it's ready and it's usable, right? It's delivered in a way that's usable. It's a short delivery cycle. It's not starting from scratch with each customer, right? And part of that is our data model. We have a core data model that's adaptable, though, one of our other tenets, to fit the needs of different organizations. And certainly, Oman Broadband has adapted the data model for them. It's really an enterprise database, right? So it scales across an entire organization from 10 users to 5, 6, 7, 8, 10,000 users, right? We've seen that. And it gives A to Z visibility. And when I say A to Z visibility of the network, what I mean there is you're able to see and trace the network or the light paths from where they start to where they end. And not only can you do that, but that's visible across the whole organization. People in the organization that need to see that information can see it. It's not locked up in a small group and only a few people can get at and access that information. And it's held hostage, if you will, in just one team. It can be democratized or spread across the organization for everybody who needs access to it. What we do and what you do as a telecom operator is geospatial, right? And we have that geospatial awareness because it's a map-based application to know where the fiber cable is, where the customer is, where's the closest splice that I can tie into to sell to a new customer, where is the outage perhaps occurring, right? And really that anytime, anywhere access to all the users across the entire organization. Now, today, telecom operators use their system, kind of what we see often for these kind of 6 areas. Most commonly, there's exceptions obviously, but most commonly they use it to plan where they're going to grow the network, engineer how they're going to grow in that area, go out into the field and validate the plan by what they actually see by staff or contractors on the ground. They go through some permitting or approval process in order to dig or build the network in the area that they fielded it. And then you have to actually construct it. And then once you've kind of stepped through all 5 of those, you can actually sell it and begin to generate revenue off of it. This is how we see network operators as these kind of 6 key areas using their systems today. And today, sometimes these are in one system, sometimes they're in 3 systems, and sometimes they're in 6 disparate systems. And that creates inherent problems because you're trying to move the data using ETL or different tools from planning to engineering, and then you're trying to get it from engineering out to some different application or tool that your fielders are actually using. And then you're trying to pull that information back from the fielders on all their tablets, right, in so that you can, manipulate your engineering plan and then ultimately move towards that permitting process or approval for construction process. And that takes time and it takes energy, which ultimately costs money, because the driver that many of our customers we see are really driving for is this getting ready to be open for sale. Because I said, you don't generate revenue until you have the network that you can sell it off. So how telecom network or operators that we work with that we see being able to move faster, meet or exceed their KPIs or their goals, is looking at it a little differently. Instead of that linear path, when you move your OSS, your BSS, and your GIS tools into the center as a single system of record, you're able to pull out of it and interact with it at those various different points, right? The sales and marketing team, planning and design engineering being able to interact with it, permitting construction being able to interact with the same data, and many times are often using the same sets of tools trying to drive towards turning the network up, being able to sell it and generate it faster. And that's what 3GIS ethos is trying to do. We're not an OSS or BSS solution. Oman Broadband has another solution that they use for that. But we offer the ability to integrate those together, and that when you need that geospatial information, when you need the network connectivity information, when you need to do a signal trace, generate a splice report, generate a network diagram, everybody's calling back to the same system of truth, and you're not going and looking through a file share to figure out what CAD document or what Visio document is the latest and greatest splicing diagram for this splice closure and wondering, gee, was it really updated by the last person in the field or not? So putting the data at the center and supporting having a solution that supports doing that is really key. So Ahmed, do you want to take the group here and talk a little bit about kind of how the implementation went, the products that you're using, and some of the results that you've seen so far?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so some of the implementation that we facing today, or the result that we had today, that the network management itself, as shown in the right, is the connection manager, that we have control over each fiber cable and fiber trans. As you said, as we said, it's very handy and user friendly. Today, all the users of the 3GIS is happy to use a web-based application and friendly to use, and there is a knowledge base to learn every day. It's not limited to the hardware itself. So I will talk about the connection manager here. Is very editable, fully editable, and you can edit whatever. So you don't need to go to the desktop version, which is ArcGIS Pro or ArcMap, whatever the version. Also, there's a real-time data synchronization. Whatever changes in the web application or in the site, it's both of them are synced. Also, it's scalable architecture. So, as we know, once the network is expanding, so the system requirement should be scalable. So to process the huge amount of the data as usual. So not facing the interruption while you work. Also, there's a a tracing for the cable, so light path tracing, which is OTDR tracing also, and the project tracking the each project from start to end, and all the details is available in the system, and you can track the any stage of the project. The final point here is user friendly, that just as we now open the webinar, so we use the web browser. Same with the solution we have today. We open it from the browser and easy to use. Moving forward to the mobility, so it's very handy that it's capable to work offline. So for the rural area, there's no network for there's no access for the internet, so you can capture a data from the real-time data, so and you can use it, you make use of it, then make your updates and whatever in the site from the mobile application. Once you access to the system or online, everything will sync, and you will not lose any data or missing any data. Also, the mobile system is also user friendly. There's no complication in it. We use it with it's not complex that we have to click hidden button in some softwares. All right, moving to the data loader. Here, the real change that we touch. The data loader, back days, it takes a lot of days to load one of the FTTH project. So this FTTH project have here an example of 5,000 home pass. It was take a lot of time to load it in the GIS system after conversion and cleaning, I mean, the only process of the loading. Here today we achieve that only 8 minutes required to load entire project with all the features, all the attributes. Just it's cleaned and just drag it and drop and you load it. This is a significant change here. This helped Oman Broadband to reduce the project timeline approximately 5%. So earlier release of the project and the income of the company is increased because the subscriber will get faster. And this is accelerate the delivery of the project. This is the significant change. Also, we'll introduce some new in the market, which is the one of the application. It's Task, 3GIS Task. This is what we use today for the last mile connection. Back in days, there's a lot of workflows for connecting the last mile connection, and may take days. And there is an engineer dedicated to process this task in the desktop and assigning to the contractor to connect this customer. Using this application, which is only 8 steps, I believe, selecting the location of the customer and getting the work order ID from the BSS system and cross-life data. Also, creating a fiber from the task and selecting the splicing details, whatever details that of the customer, then connect it and will appear in the system directly. So the only engineer now is just overlooking what's just happened. So by applying this, we connect over 400 new customer per day, so thousands in the month, and this is because 3GIS offer to change some. It's not just applying what customer need. Also, they recommend if there is an enhancement in the workflow that can fit your requirement with faster time. So this application is significantly changing the process and the income for the company and the quality as well, because all the customer details is picked up from the site itself. So this is one of the best thing that we got. Moving to summarize about the solution, at least for this feature we talked today. For the data loader, from days to minutes, and the workflow automation, it's automated workflow, which is improved the efficiency today. The mobile capability, it was limited, that no real-time data. Today we can trace even from the site and interact with the real-time data which is hosted in the company. And the task management, which auto-assigning the work order. Here I want to tell you one story happens in one. It's a feedback from one operation service provider, that there is a customer go to the showroom, one of the ISPs, and place an order, and he's still talking with the employee there, and he received a call that we want to schedule an appointment with you to connect your internet. He said, "Is it that fast?" Yes, it is that fast, because of the integration between between the systems that we have in the company. So the task is automatically assigned to the contractor, and he will use 3GIS the 3GIS task and collecting the data from the field. Moving to the schematic. Schematic, we have in broadband customized schematic in the old days that we have to manually design and manually updating using AutoCAD, or even in the system itself. It's not that easy to trace or to show or to update. It's not that easy task that you would do it every day. With the 3GIS, it's automatically designed the tool, and it's integrated with the CAD files. So if I select one FDH, I want to show all the schematic. It's just a minute. If the knob is just a second, that I will see the schematic with connection. Work order management is more faster. Reporting engine in the 3GIS, if we take the same example that we have previously in the Ericsson Network Engineer, which take 4 hours, it's just a few minutes, and also you can receive it in your email. About the touchable from the user, it's the user interface. Previously, it's required the hardware that you will use the desktop version only, and also in technical part, when an error that faced the user. It's harder to troubleshoot that problem because you have to have the knowledge of the hardware where it's just stuck, and you don't have the log of the system behavior. And the 3GIS is web-based, user-friendly, and easy to troubleshoot uh, any problem that faces the customer, because all the logs is hosted and registered. And this is a big achievement in Oman Broadband, partnered with the GIS, offering a wonderful solution fit the current requirement and the upcoming requirement.
Thank you so much, Ahmed. Thank you, Andrew. And I know that one of our attendees, who is Parvana, who had a question. So yes, it will be recorded and it will be shared. But let us answer your question. How much work is done in-house? Does 3GIS help you with the data integration and analysis?
Okay, Ahmed, you want to take that one, or you want me to respond and you can chime in?
It's 3GIS helps do data integration. It's better from you. It comes from you.
Yeah. Perfect. Happy to answer that. So, how much of the work done is in-house? So, in-house at OBB, in this example here, in many of our customers, we do a lot of the data migration work ourselves for the customer. Now, we do not do it in a vacuum. The approach that we take is very consultative, working with the customer to determine the data model that they have today. Right? Many times we know it, which is a great start already. But when we work with them to do the mapping, to figure out what field on the fiber cable needs to go on their current system needs to go into what field on the fiber cable in 3GIS. Right? We also do analysis to determine, is there going to be any fallout or missing data or connections that we can't make when we migrate the data from the old system to the new system. Some cases, and I don't know if this was the case at Oman Broadband, but I'll use it as an example. In some systems that we migrate out of, they support allowing 2 fibers to be connected to the exact same port. Now, physically in the real world in a fiber network, you can't plug 2 fibers into a single port. They're a one-to-one thing, right? But when you have a system that allowed that to happen, and you're moving into a system that models it like in the real world, you have to somehow handle exceptions like that, right? And we work with our customers to figure out how they want to handle it. In some cases, we can provide them, hey, here are the problems with the data, and they can work to correct it as we move through multiple iterations in the migration, leading up to that final delivery. And as you heard Ahmed talk about, that final delivery is the point where you switch over from the legacy system to the new system, and that time is usually a few days at most. So up until that point, the customer is still working in their old system. There's not a lot of downtime there that the customer has to experience. So we do a lot of the data migration work in-house. We don't subcontract that out. And we also, as part of that, do analysis to inform the customer around problem areas in their data so they know what the problems may be before they go live on that first day.
And how much work, Andrew, is done in-house, during this process?
In-house by 3GIS or in-house by the customer?
All right. Okay, so we have also another question from Alan. With differences in data models between platforms, how do you ensure data integrity and accuracy during a migration process?
Sure. From the 3GIS side, how we approach that is in an iterative approach. So a lot of it comes down to what we call field mapping. And that's where we take the information from the legacy system and its tables, and we map it, if you will, over to the 3GIS system and its tables. And that's really a collaboration between 3GIS and our staff doing the migration and the customer. And we agree on what needs to go where, and the customer comes with the information knowing about their data and their system, business. We know about 3GIS, and we can provide and consult and advice on where it needs to go So we go through a workshop together to figure out where that data needs to go. And then we deliver several iterations. And we build scripts and models to do that programmatically, move the data. And the customer has an opportunity and really is encouraged, and we really want the customer to review that data at each of those iterations. So we deliver the first iteration into 3GIS, and the customer gets a chance to actually look at their data and interact with their data in 3GIS before go live and identify that, hey, this wasn't where we thought it should go, or this needs to go here, not here now, we think. And we do several iterations to enable that and make sure that it is accurate. And we're using programmatic ways to move the data, so it reduces human error significantly to do that. And a lot of the systems we're really familiar with as well. Our customers are coming out of Network Engineer, and in Oman Broadband's case, we're extremely familiar with. The founders of our company founded the company that started the Network Engineer and wrote the Network Engineer product. So, and we still have staff today that were involved with the development of the original Network Engineer product on our staff and on our team today. So we know it quite well.
Perfect. So I don't know if you would like to talk about this or the key takeaways from this photo before we answer also Muhammad's question about the end users with Oman Broadband using 3GIS systems.
Sure, Ahmed, maybe you might be in a better position to try and answer that one since you work with the team every day.
Yes, absolutely. Here, everybody in the company, even the contractor we're dealing with, all of them is interacting with the GIS system. Previously, we have limited account in the Ericsson Network Engineer. It's not reaching 30. Today, we have 300 user, 250 for the mobile itself, and 40 for the web, which is used by the engineers and all across the company itself. So a huge amount of users now that will ensure the accuracy of each data entry. Hope this answered the question.
Yes, I hope if Muhammad, this is clear, please let us know. If you have more or you need more information, also you can type your message in the chat box. Okay, meanwhile, until we find out if any of other, okay, it's clear. If any of other attendees have any more question, would you like to talk about this or the key takeaways, Ahmed?
Yeah, this the official launch that we do it in the aligning with the comics event in Oman. In this event that we officially launched the 3GIS system over the legacy network engineer. This is we celebrate about the scalability that we have reached and the collaboration between Oman Broadband and the 3GIS. Also the features that we gain from this new solution, which is the first of kind using the field, actually actively using the mobile the system from the field. Also, we're reaching today the strand, fiber strand. Each strand is dedicated for each customer, so it's easy to trace cable and every single trans labeled for that customer. Also, the management and availability today it's available and handy from the web. Now we cutting the edge. It's more modern that fit our requirement because we are each year come to us is a new technology that will pop up in the market. When it's come to the telecom sector, it's uh, it's exponentially grow. So in, adopting a new solution that fit the company requirement and the the sector itself, because it's not about the company itself, it's about the integration with other. So building an ecosystem, uh, it's an achievement for every company who want to uh, adapt a new technology for their systems. And yes, this is an honor that we launched this system, and happy to grow the broadband coverage around the nation here.
Great. So at the end, I can only thank you, Ahmed and Andrew, for this webinar and for your time. And we hope all the attendees had some takeaways from this webinar and learned something new as much as I did today. If you would like to get in touch with the 3GIS, or if you have more inquiries, scan the QR code to get in touch with their team, or you can just simply send them an email. Thank you so much. Looking forward to welcome you all in our next webinar. Have a nice day ahead. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Ahmed. Thank you all.
You're welcome, and thank you, everybody.
Welcome and
Thank
thank you.
you.
Bye.
Bye.